Rico, I spent months with this cockroach, and I gotta tell you, not even he could tell you what he's gonna do from 1 minute to the next.
And with 200 pounds of Colombian flake doing it, you can't blame it. Just make sure he doesn't spot you. He didn't get to be numero uno by not being careful.
Well, tonight we're gonna retire his number.
Roberto, my man.
Check this out, partner. Enriquez meeting with Skip Jordan. I thought that flyboy was grounded.
Hell, Rico, they only caught him flying a Cessna full of weed. That doesn't even get you detention hall these days.
Where's my merchandise?
Be cool, you'll get it after you pay me.
We're playing a dangerous game, my friend.
Here's a little taste for you.
Freeze! Miami Vice!
Vice of Miami podcast, season 5, we're back at last. With Mark and Tim on the mic, they're bringing heat, they're bringing hype. Guest stars going through, oh what a ride. Deep dives in music, let the rhythm guide.
Welcome to the Vice of Miami podcast. I'm your host, Mark, alongside my co-host, Tim, and we're thrilled to take you on a journey through the iconic 80s TV series, Miami Vice. Each episode, we'll delve into the gripping world of Detective Sonny Crockett, Rico Tubbs, and the entire Vice team, reviewing every episode and uncovering the dark storylines, unforgettable guest stars, and the electrifying music that turned Miami Vice into a cult classic. From trivia and fun facts to occasional goof, we're here to provide a fresh and engaging perspective, whether you're a longtime fan or new to the series. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, and join us on show number 105 as we explore season 5, episode 9 of Miami Vice, Fruit of the Poison Tree. And Tim, before you get started,
fight, for I will sing, and their colors never fly. Yes, we will fight, for I will sing.
yes, I went to the Iowa State game this weekend against Arizona. They won. Does it bring back your marching band days, Tim?
Yes, it does.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
All right. So this episode was written by Rob Brannigan, directed by Michelle Manning, and the original air date was February 3rd, 1989, and it is the 99th episode overall in a series with production code of 63912-99. And the plot: a junior attorney seeking to gain justice for her father's murder uses legal loopholes to free a drug dealer and set up her father's killer.
Tim, who do we have for guest stars and co-stars? Why don't you start out, sir?
Oh, this is a good guest star, even though he played a minor role in here. Tony Sirico as Frank Romano, actually born Gennaro Anthony Sirico Jr. on July 29th, 1942 in Brooklyn to an Italian-American family. Sirico had a tumultuous early life marked by multiple arrests and periods of imprisonment for crimes including robbery, assault, and extortion, including 20 months at Sing Sing. He has a brother who is a Catholic priest. He also served in the U.S. Army. His interest in acting was sparked during a prison sentence. Following a visit by an acting troupe of ex-convicts, Tony was an American actor portraying mostly mobster-type roles. His best-known role was Paulie Walnut's Gualtieri in the 1999 to 2007 series The Sopranos. In 1974, he was in The Godfather Part 2, which was his first movie appearance. And in 1977, he was on Kojak, which was his first TV appearance. He has an extensive filmography, including The Mighty Aphrodite, One Man Jury, Karma Calling, Goodfellas, American Dad was his last TV role, and Respect the Jux was his last movie role. Sirico had 2 children, and he released a cologne called Paulo per Umo. And I think you
I researched it for it, and no luck, Tim. We can't find it anywhere.
can't find it, so it was a short-lived thing. Sirico died on the afternoon of July 2022 at an assisted living facility in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at the age of 79. No cause of death was given, but he had been diagnosed with dementia some years before his death. And then continuing with our...
Before you continue, Tim?
What do you hear? What do you say?
Bully coming back out of college.
Hold on.
Oh, motherfucker. Fucking poison ivy all over. I can feel it itching me already.
That's got to be in this thing. Okay, continuing the guest stars. Stephen McHattie as Sam Boyle, Jeff Meek as Roberto Enriquez, Anthony Latanzio as Skip Jordan, and Amanda Plummer as Lisa Madsen. Mark, who are our co-stars?
Commendatore. Buongiorno. How the fuck do you know that? Hey! Don't me. Who you been talking to? Why? What the fuck are they saying? Fuck you and this bullshit. That's what this is, you know. Satanic black magic. Sick shit. Quiz! Better yet, go to the ear, nose, and throat department. Get your hearing checked. Listen to this giving orders. You got some balls, my friend.
And yes, Tim, the co-stars, we have Arnie Cox as Vendor, Howard New as judge in the first trial, Alex Dowd as judge in the second trial, Sal Devarte as Raul, Brian Gaunt as Nicky, Ken Kay as Garcia, Tom Kochalakos as Stevens, Edgar Allan Poe IV as Junkie, I wonder if he's related, Jessica Reed as Little Girl, and Roland Jarrett as Assistant DA.
Squirrels will lead them anyway. And the sun's setting there. At least we know what direction we're headed. We're not lost.
Anyway.
All right, Miami Vice in the news. A very happy birthday to Martin Ferrero, who will he's actually turning 78 today, September 29th. Happy birthday, Izzy.
Yes, happy birthday, Izzy. And according to MSN, Miami Vice is going to get a second reboot on the big screen with the release of sometime in August of 2027. It will be directed by Joseph Kosinski of Top Gun Maverick and F1.
Haven't seen the movie, so can't say, but people don't really give that many good accolades to the movie, so...
Oh, the original movie one, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's going to have to be a wait and see type of thing, Tim, you think?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. He's fucking dead.
Oh, Maron, he looks terrible. Yeah, it's just not to prepare you.
All right, let's get right into the discussion for Fruit of the Poison Tree. This episode opens with the OCB team on a night stakeout near a train station. Gina is already hooked up with a guy named Roberto, and they're all pretty much waiting for a deal to go down, and Roberto here needs to pay Skip Jordan for some merchandise he's going to be receiving. Little booger sugar. Crockett here, while they're all waiting, he sees something else going down that's, not germane to the situation. He intervenes. Someone's getting shaken down, and panic ensues when a woman screams that she sees Crockett's gun. Obviously not knowing he's a cop. So all mayhem breaks loose. It's all chaos. Anyway, Roberto and Skip, they take off. The chase is on. Roberto jumps back in his limo. It crashes, and I think he dives into a pile of oil that was in the construction area. It was weird. But he was all dressed in white. I mean, he had quite a laundry bill, I'm guessing, huh? And
yes.
Crockett ends up busting him. And you see Stan here in his undercover. He's still playing a stumbledrunk from last episode still.
With that 3-day growth.
3-day growth. Nipping at the bottle.
So now we're at federal court, and Tubbs is testifying at the trial of Roberto Enriquez. Tubbs tells the court that the warrant was obtained on intel that Roberto was buying coke. The defense attorney questioned Tubbs about the thwarted robbery and panic. Tubbs says they ID'd themselves as cops and ordered Roberto to halt. Stan obtained a search warrant to search Roberto's car, but the case was dismissed because the warrant did not match the license plate on his car.
Tim, don't you know as well as I know that, okay, it may not match, but now you're fleeing and looting, so they still got you on that, at least, right? Then
You would think, yes.
you can search, but I guess that's getting into technicalities.
It is, but the defense attorney would just say, well, you wouldn't have been fleeing and looting him if you didn't have this faulty warrant, blah, blah, blah.
Didn't know who
how
you
it
was.
goes.
I didn't know who you was. That's why I ran.
Because of Stan's mistake, the case was dismissed. Crockett and Tubbs meet with Stan, who apologized for the screw-up. Crockett exchanges words with the defense attorney and calls him a pimp, and we later learn that this defense attorney is actually Sam Boyle. And a woman by the name of Lisa with Sam, and she's an associate of his, was Ben Madsen's daughter. He was a special prosecutor who was murdered, and she blames the cops for his death, basically saying they didn't do enough, to investigate what happened.
Yeah, I think she had some sort of, I guess you could call it maybe a vendetta, score to settle with coppers.
Axe to grind, yes.
Axe to grind. There we go. So now we're at OCB. Marty briefs the team and tells them that Roberto is on high alert, and he wants Crockett to stay on him as Gina is still working on the inside within Roberto's circle. Now, I thought it was kind of funny. They didn't really get into the, I guess, backstory. I mean, she just appeared with him. Nobody ever said that she was going to be with him from the get-go, but there she was anyway. So anyway, Marty wants them to turn Jordan, and then Gino is not going to be needed undercover, which makes sense. Get the safety net going. So later, in a bathroom somewhere, a mobster named Frank Raimondo, he enters the bathroom with his goons to have a quote-unquote conversation with Sam Boyle, who was Roberto's attorney. Frank here tells him that he's in town because the deal went bad. He insinuates that Sam stole from his partners to make over $1 million a year, and then Sam tapped into an offshore account as a loan. One of the thugs beats down Sam, and Frank tells him he wants his $1 million back, and he will return to collect. And did you notice he didn't give his usual 2-finger point? The pinky and the pointer finger was just the pointer finger that he's famous for.
He didn't probably develop that yet.
Yeah, but he gave the point. If you know Sopranos, you know people.
So now later at Roberto's home, Gina listens in on Roberto discussing going after Skip Jordan because Jordan stiffed him on the drug deal. He tells Gina that they will take a vacation to the Bahamas once he straightens things out with his business associates. Meanwhile, at Sam Boyle's office, he's making calls to raise the $1 million for Romano. Lisa Madsen enters and tells him to just, you need to chill out, and it's obvious here that they got some type of relationship going. Sam helped her finish law school after her dad died, and we find out that Ben Madsen owned the law firm, and it is now Sam's, and he was Sam's partner and best friend.
Now we're at an airport. Cooper and Burnett, they arrive at an airfield looking for a pilot for their drug shipments. They want to get their product moving. The pilot, Skip Jordan, gives them a price of $20K. They leave, and then later Sam Boyle shows up and puts a gun to Skip's head. Skip shows him a plane loaded with the rest of the coke that he screwed Roberto out of, and it's just what Sam needs to unload. He's going to sell this coke to pay back Romano. Sam struggles with Skip, and then he kills him.
As I was saying, Mr. Burnett and I are planning a trip to the islands tomorrow. And we heard that you knew how to avoid the tourists and the red tape.
Well, this is a risky business, gentlemen. Unlawful flight, aiding, and abetting. I'm looking at hard time if I'm caught.
How much?
$20,000 in advance. And I'll take you anywhere in the Caribbean. No immigrations, no hassle.
Deal.
So now in another scene at Roberto's, we see partygoers enjoying themselves. Gina and Roberto are dancing. Plenty of coke on the menu for all to partake in. And then Gina and Roberto go to another room, and she hears his end of a phone conversation in which Roberto tells the other person on the phone to bring the merchandise to a parking garage at 1500 hours or 3 p.m. Now, is this a setup or not? We shall see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
So now Crockett and Tubbs return to the airfield to meet with Jordan when Marty calls Crockett and tells him Gina checked in about the parking garage meeting. The deal goes down at 3 o'clock. Jordan threw Crockett and Tubbs a curve, and they immediately left for the garage. Later at the garage, the OCB team is in place for the deal. Roberto shows up, and Marty tells the team to move in. They search the limo, and Lisa's also there present with Roberto representing him, and OCB finds nothing in the trunk. Lisa then hands Crockett a complaint for harassment of Roberto. Crockett and Tubbs realize that Gina is in danger because this deal was a setup to check if Gina was an undercover mole.
Move in.
Police, get out! Put your hands in the air. Get up against that car.
You better have a damn good explanation, Detective.
What's going on here?
I'm conferring with my client about his charges of police harassment.
There's nothing here, Sonny.
Well, just so you don't leave empty-handed, here's a copy of the complaint I filed in Superior Court charging you and your department with harassment. Now, after this incident, you won't be able to get within a mile of Mr. Enriquez.
So now we are at Gina's fake house. I guess this is a safe house, or maybe just a playhouse to
It has to be, because I remember in earlier seasons she lived in an apartment.
Yeah,
this was pretty nice digs that I don't think that she could afford.
Right.
On a cop's salary.
A front house to play her big deal, big wheel and dealing type person. So anyway, she arrives there. Crockett and Tubbs are shown en route in a different scene, but Gina is helped with a bunch of groceries, I guess, or some bags from the car by one of her neighbors, which is a 12-year-old boy named Nicky. I guess he was just playing hoops there, so he decided to help her out. Helps her up with the groceries. She's still digging around in the car, and then he sees a box of flowers that was left for her. Well, he picks this up, and guess what? It was wired for kaboom. It exploded. Crockett and Tubbs arrived just in time to find a distraught Gina. I mean, this was it was a big explosion. There's no way there was anything left of this kid. It was bad. So anyway, later on, Crockett pays a visit to Lisa to talk about Roberto. She denies his whereabouts. Crockett tells her about Nicky and that the garage deal was a setup to expose an undercover cop. He tells her that Roberto left C4 for Gina. Lisa refuses to help Crockett with Roberto. Crockett tells her that Sam is using her. No matter what you're doing, whatever what you think you're doing, how you're helping, he's using you. So anyway, she gets quite upset. She gets mad here and says that the cops did nothing about her dad's murder back in the day. She says she's going to find the murderer herself with Sam's help. So she's on the path of thinking that Sam's going to help her out on who screwed her dad over by killing him. And she's really getting roped in on this bad deal that she's kind of... Do you think she's kind of duped into it, or is she playing dumb, or does she know better? I mean, she's got to know these guys are bad, but how bad?
Oh, she knows, I mean, that he's representing a drug dealer. Sure, she knows that.
So anyway, Crockett asks her if Sam is a straight-up guy. Why does he protect Roberto? And then Crockett guilts her again about Nicky's death. So in a later scene at Sam's on the phone with Roberto and tells him Skip Jordan, the guy that he killed, he took the coke. Roberto wants Jordan, who's already dead, to be killed. Sam tells Roberto, chill out. I got this handled. Think like a businessman. He's got this coke. He tells him Jordan wants $1 million for the coke. Roberto's obviously miffed, but tells Sam that the shipment is worth 20 times that price on the street. So think about it. Give him $1 million, you're going to get 20 times that. He says Jordan has him over a barrel and offers to be the middleman in the deal. Right. He tells Roberto bring the money to him, and he's going to seal the deal for him. Roberto here, he's skeptical, obviously, but Sam says, trust me, I'm your attorney.
And now we're at a restaurant and we see Sam and Lisa having dinner. He is telling war stories, but Lisa's churning and cannot look at him. He notices this and asks what is wrong. She tells him that Crockett paid her a visit to tell her that Roberto killed the neighborhood kid. Sam glosses over this as Lisa says, but he was only 12. Sam tells her not to get emotionally involved with the case. Besides, they have no evidence to tie Roberto to the murder. He tells Lisa there are plenty of people who wanted to send Gina a C4 surprise. And then Lisa realizes he is involved as she said nothing to him about Crockett telling her about the C4. She questions him on how he knew it was C4. He stutters and then he says that Roberto told him. Sam talks about himself being the knight in shining armor who strikes down evil. He says in his law practice there are always shades of gray and they must trust the clients. And she just walks out of the dinner.
So now Sam meets with Roberto to get the $1 million for the coke deal. They're in a parking garage, I believe. Later on, Crockett goes to meet Lisa at her request. Lisa hands Crockett a protected file about Roberto that she's never looked at. As far as she's concerned, Crockett just saw it laying there and he thumbed through it. You know, can't freely give up this information. You got that attorney-client privilege, so you snoop through it on your own type of thing. Crockett tells her she's doing the right thing, and inside this file, there's info on Lisa's dad's murder, police reports, telegrams, etc. Crockett finds something and writes down the information that he gets.
Okay, I'm here. You want to tell me why?
First, the ground rules. The information you want about Enriquez is protected under attorney-client privilege. If anybody finds out, it's my career.
You've got my word.
Now, this file contains highly sensitive information about Sam's clients. He keeps it locked up. I've never opened it. I don't intend to. As far as I'm concerned, you saw it out and helped yourself.
So now Tubbs shows up at a boathouse with his weapon drawn, and we can only make the assumption that this was based on some of the information that Crockett wrote down from the file that he got from Lisa to thumb through. Tubbs finds a guy digging through a boat. Then this guy draws his weapon, and Crockett enters and kills him. Roberto is also there. He tries to escape when a shootout ensues. Gina is there, draws down on him. Crockett finds the C4 and tells Gina that they have him for the boy's murder. He is then promptly arrested. Later, at a waterfront scene, Sam meets with Romano to turn over the $1 million he owes. Sam has a beat-up van that he wants to give to a not-so-amused Frank. He shows him that the van is full of 200 keys of Colombian flake worth $200 million.
And if you notice here, Tim, Paulie does the quick snaps his fingers just like the Sopranos. Hey, keep this warm.
Sam will give him the coke in return for $1 million, the $1 million owed plus $600,000. Romano says he doesn't have the $600,000 on him, and he says, "Can you trust me for it?"
Tim, did you notice that we get a?
Yes, he's early forming of Paulie walnuts. And in a distance, we see Lisa watching on. So all this does is reinforce more for her that Sam is deeper into this than she knows.
No, he's knee deep, past his knees.
Past his knees.
Up to his hip. Anyway, in federal court here, Crockett testifies about the tip that he received about Roberto from a quote-unquote informant. He got a phone number where Roberto could be found. The phone company obviously provided the address. Crockett is not IDing the informant for safety reasons, obviously. He's asked if the informant was reliable, to which Crockett says yes. And then Lisa Madsen is called by the defense. Crockett here is wondering what the heck's going on. You can see it in his eyes. She takes a stand and says that Crockett got the phone number from her because he wanted to question Roberto about Nikki's death. She tells the court that the info was privileged information. Dun, dun, dun. Talk about throwing for the loop, huh? And the judge promptly suppresses the info as fruit of the poisonous tree. And there's our title. And summarily dismisses the case again. Roberto walks again. Boy, then this guy's got the golden horseshoe up his wazoo.
Yes, he does. So now we're back at Boyle's office, and Lisa walks in and tells Sam that Roberto is out as she testified on his behalf. She tells Sam that she told Roberto that Sam ripped off the drugs. Sam tells her she does not know what she has just done. She says, on the contrary, and then walks out. Later, Crockett arrives at the office as Lisa watches Sam drive off. Crockett asks where it is going down. Specifically, where is Roberto going to kill Sam? Crockett knows that Lisa testified so Roberto could kill Sam. She tells Crockett that Sam killed her father. She saw in the file that he sent her a telegram about her dad's death 2 hours before the cops notified Sam of the murder. Crockett tells her not to allow Sam to be killed. They will get him. She tells Crockett that a few days before her dad's death, her dad told her he uncovered damaging info about a highly respected person. Obviously, it was Sam. Crockett implores her for the location, and she tells him it is at the airfield.
What's it going down, Lisa?
I was wondering when you'd get here.
You got Enriquez out to kill Boyle for you, didn't you? Tell me where it's going down.
Sam murdered my father.
I know.
Sam sent me that telegram 2 hours before the police had even notified him of the murder.
We'll get him, Lisa. You've got to believe that.
No, they'll get him. So now ending our episode here, Sam meets Roberto at the airfield, and Roberto shoots Sam in his appendages. Thanks for, as a thank you, I guess, maybe, huh?
Yes.
He demands the coke from Sam, and just in time, Crockett and Tubbs arrive on the scene to, guess what? Another Miami Vice shootout at, well, not the OK Corral, but at the airport here. Roberto here tries to escape and is arrested by Crockett, and Boyle is dead. Lisa arrives and starts sobbing over him, wondering, oh, geez, what did I do? Oh, my God, he's dead. And Crockett says, what do you think it would look? Pretty?
How'd you think it was going to look? Pretty?
All right. Ratings for this episode, IMDb gives it a 7.3. Tim, your thoughts?
Mark, I like this episode and agree with the IMDb rating. It had all the elements of a mob and drug lord double cross all mixed into one plot. I loved a young Tony Remember Pearl Harbor, my friend Sirico, as Frank Romano. He was essentially playing Paulie Walnuts before Paulie Walnuts appeared in The Sopranos. Crockett eventually turns Lisa Matson to their side as she uncovers that her longtime mentor, Sam Boyle, killed her father. For years, she blamed the cops for not doing enough to bring the killer to justice. Sam played both ends against the middle to raise $1 million he owed to Frank Romano, money he built from offshore accounts. In the end, he got his comeuppance due to the solid police work by the OCB team. Mark?
Yeah, I like this one too. Another good old Vice type work episode. Simple storyline, not too many characters or spins to confuse you. I really liked it. And just last episode, Tim, you said there weren't too many Gina-centered episodes. Well, I guess this kind of falls into that, kind of, sort of.
Yes, it does.
I mean, she was the connection between Vice and the bad guys, so I guess we got that. I did, like you, I like seeing a young Paulie Walnuts, but I think he could have been a regular mobster or the big guy, the big bad guy for this show, kind of like a Calderon. Or maybe, like the Stanley Tucci character. I think he could have held his own as being, a regular, I guess you could say, So,
yeah.
Anyway,
yes.
I think it would have worked well. It's good to see all the Vice team in this, even Stan pretending to be the stumbledrunk. Sam was, to put it gently, a real scumbag. He saw opportunities and worked them to his benefit. And I guess he got the benefit in the end. Lisa was a good character. Unwavering in her work, even if it was for the bad dudes or two. But she played out the facts well, even if it meant more revenge for her father's killing. So she got what she wanted. She knew who killed her father, and even though she didn't kill him, he ended up dying. So she got what she wanted, and so did Vice. Good episode. All right, let's check out the music for this episode. Tim, what do you have for us?
First up, Mark, we have Desire by U2 in the opening train station. And then we have Walking Towards Paradise by Robert Plant. And that's when Gina and Enriquez are dancing at the party he was hosting.
And we don't have any Tim Truman music credited. All right, Goofs, fun facts and locations. Our fun fact here: Sam Boyle would become one of the few characters in the series who would commit crimes to pay off a debt. Others would be Judge Ferguson in The Fix and Hank Frazier in Vote of Confidence.
And Mark, our first goof. The pool of oil Enrique slips in at the end of the opening scene appears out of nowhere. It was not there when his limousine crashed into the construction site moments earlier.
A location: the Brickell Key Bridge in downtown Miami. That's where Boyle and Romano meet with the van full of drugs.
And then we have a fun fact. Starting with this episode, Miami Vice's time slot changed from 10 p.m. to 9 p.m., where it would remain until the episode Victims of Circumstance.
All right, time for trivia. Last episode, we asked, what is advertised on the side of the semi at the beginning of the episode? And that would be Vernon Bob's Sparkling Cider. And the bonus question was, what license plates are on the front bumper of that truck? First one is out of Florida, B Bravo 7C Charlie 302. And out of New York, plate 693 Bravo November Union. Tim, what's the question for this episode?
This episode question is, Amanda Plummer is attorney Lisa Madsen. What famous actor is her father? You can post your answers on this episode's Facebook post, or you can email us at miamivice@duck.com.
We've arrived to Mindful Music. We'd like to share a quick clip of a song that we think will send some peaceful and inspiring vibes your way. With the show, and as well as our own lives, we might have many issues or stressful times that we encounter. With these song choices, we can hopefully quiet the mind and make those issues less of an obstacle for your day. And what I'm doing is I'm continuing the points or tips of life from Tom Bluth from the recent Iowa State University graduation speech. He had 5 points, and this is the fourth of 5. And in it, he says, sit in the balcony seats. And meaning, in paraphrase, of course, it means get away from the game sometimes. Get a different perspective on issues or goals or sticking points or problems that you're working on. Basically, sit outside the box. Instead of pinpointing or zeroing in on a problem or an issue, widen your camera angle, and things just may fall into place, and the perspective may follow suit. So with that, sit in the balcony seats, I chose the song Think Outside the Box by Christy Bowerly. So give this a listen.
A town so small you can throw a rock from one end to the other. You've seen it all at the four-way stop, but there's much more to discover, yeah. The road ahead is calling you. Don't be afraid, you know it's what you want to do. Beyond that city limits, box.
Thanks to all of you for tuning to the Vice of Miami podcast. We hope you enjoyed our look into the world of Miami Vice. If you really loved what you heard, please leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps us out. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and more Miami Vice goodness. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at the Vice of Miami podcast. Our next episode, number 106, which covers episode 10, To Have and to Hold. Until next time, stay stylish and keep the Vice alive. Now,
Get the out of here.